crafting journey here, that journey chick on Instagram. You're not going to believe this when I tell you that it is cool, almost cold outside. And I just turned the air conditioner up. Man, my electric bill was interesting. New iPad, yes. So it came with this little keyboard here, this cover, which is kind of cool, and it's a little larger than the old one, just slightly, not by a lot. And oh, one thing I've noticed is, it came with some headphones and earplugs, and I noticed they weren't like the Apple earplugs, because usually Apple devices you have to use Apple earplugs. And I thought, well, why would they send me something that's not Apple for an Apple product? But Apple has changed. They now have a port for a regular set of headphones. Yay! So you can put a cheapo set of headphones in here. You don't have to use the Apple headphones, which is really nice to know because they're impossible to find should you lose them. Oh, good luck, and they're expensive. So I was happy about that. Did you guys have a great weekend? I did. My sister moved in. She's here. We are adjusting. We got to get her a bed. I ordered a couple of extra fans because it was so hot the night she got here. But the last couple of days have been really cool. Like I said, it's so cool right now. I had to turn the air up. But when I went to get, I ordered them for grocery pickup. I threw in a couple of fans. And I noticed when I picked out the fans that almost all the fans were sold out. But I picked out these two standing fans, cheapo standing fans. And when I go to get the grocery order, all I got was groceries. I looked, the fans sold out. Yeah. So between the time I placed my order around lunchtime and the time I picked it up about 6 o'clock, they had sold out of all the fans. Well, it's okay. It's supposed to get warm again towards the end of the week. So at that point, I'll go buy fans if I need them. I know. Everybody's out buying fans because it's hotter than bejesus, or it was. They're probably all thinking the same thing. I bought a fan and now it's cold. Yeah. Well, I didn't buy a fan. Anyway, what else this weekend? Just, getting adjusted. The kittens are finally coming. Stitch was coming out of the room yesterday. Pearl, I don't know, she has something going on with her eye again. So I had to start putting antibiotics in her eye. It's draining and she's sneezing. She just looks like she doesn't feel well. Oh, I know. More pet bills. Vet bills, pet bills. Well, I'm going to say that 3 times. Vet bills. Vet pet bills. There we go. Vet pet bills. Oh my gosh. Plus, I need to call and schedule them for getting them fixed. Yes. Because we don't want no kitten babies. We got enough animals in this house now. 2 dogs, 2 cats. And the dog is starting to warm up to me. Duncan starting to warm up to me. Sweet dog, really sweet dog. Anyway, how was your weekend? The last 2 nights I have slept like a log. I mean, last night I was listening to the trial so I could describe it to you today, and I kept falling asleep. And it was this evidence lady, and every time, they would go through this whole litany of, it's kind of formulaic, the way you have to lay the foundation to get this, whatever this piece of evidence is, into evidence. in the trial. So, and there was so much of it, and they were all in these bags, things that were collected out of the car and things like that. But so every time she would, they would go through their routine questions and stuff. Is this a fair and accurate representation? Is this your, how do you know this is your signature? Blah blah blah. Anyway, so but so when they would open the bag, it would, the rustling of the bag, it would wake me up, so I'd see what the evidence was. And then as she's going through a litany, I'd fall asleep again. So, and it just kept going. And finally I woke up and I looked and I'm like, the half the video was still not done. And I'm like, oh no, I can't listen to the rest of this. I got to go to sleep. And it was only like 11 o'clock. That's kind of early for me. So, and I haven't watched any TV. I just haven't. I was going to cross stitch, and Stitch was not going to have that. Stitch was not letting me cross stitch. So I think I named him appropriately, didn't I? Stitch, who doesn't like stitching. He wants to help. He likes it. He just wants to help. That's all. Anyway. Cats. They're not in here because, like I said, I think Pearl did get up to eat breakfast. Then she went back to bed, and I don't know what Stitch is up to. He is no good somewhere. And Tootsie was in here, but she ran to lay down with my sister on the couch. She just kind of nuzzles her way in there, and I went to get her down, and my sister said, "No, that's okay. I'm awake." My sister's not feeling well. Her stomach's really bad right now. I think it's nerves. Yeah, I mean, she's moving to a new place. She doesn't know it here. She's a huge Dunkin' Donuts fan, and there aren't that many around. There's none right close to me. So, yeah, that could be enough to upset a person. So I'm back on the Dormouse. I'm working on the Dormouse, and I put the mystery diamond painting away for now. I'll get it back out on Friday. This weekend is the diamond painting marathon, which reminds me I gotta do my thumbnail. I will be doing my live on Saturday night during the marathon. Yeah, it starts Saturday morning. It kicks off with Tia's Crazy Craft Addictions, and it goes through Saturday night all the way into Sunday night. It's just one after the other. You'll get to meet new creators, old creators that you've forgotten about. Every hour and a half it goes to a new creator. Yeah, how cool is that? Guess what? It is National Coloring Book Day. And since I'm doing the Year of Alice, I'm going to show you my latest, my Alice coloring books. Now, I'm not one of these people that has hundreds of coloring books. I'm not that into it. I'm not that good at it. I think if I spent more time on it, I'd be better at it. But, and I enjoy it. I don't know. I feel like when I'm doing it, I should be diamond painting or crocheting or, I don't know. I think my heart goes elsewhere. My heart isn't into coloring. But anyway, this is a day that we recognize the joy of coloring. It has caught on with adults for the last few years, and some of you have huge coloring book collections. Get your favorite one out today and color a page in it because it's National Coloring Book Day. They've mostly been popular with children, but now it's caught on with adults, and we get all these beautiful artists that are doing these fantastic coloring books, and it's a great way to reduce stress. So many colors and designs to choose from, offers enjoyment in so many settings. They can be portable, they come in a variety of sizes. I think the funniest one I had was The People of Walmart. I wonder what I did with that one. That's my funniest one. So, organize a coloring book party with your family or friends and put out your coloring pencils or gel pens or whatever, and everybody go to town. You'd be surprised how much fun it is, especially when you get a whole bunch of people and you're doing it. In fact, this Wednesday, in honor of this day, I'm going to color. I'm going to invite. One of my colorist friends, and I'm going to do some coloring. So let me show you my coloring books. I have this Alice in Wonderland. This is by Fabiano and Tanasio. Alice in Wonderland. And I have done a few pages in here. Now, the last page I started was part of this sort of Sea of Tears thing here. And I started the hedgehog, or I think that's a dormouse, or I don't know what it's supposed to be. But there's one that I started with the animals. I haven't finished it. Because if you're really taking, I really take my time, yeah. And if you take your time, it takes a while. Let me see what else I've colored in here. Not a lot. Not a lot. Because like I say, I don't do a lot of coloring. But we will this week. I'll pick one out for this week. Is that the only page I've colored in here? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Let's see. I don't know, maybe. I thought I'd colored more than that. Well, in any case, maybe I haven't. This book comes with this huge poster. I'm not going to take it all out, but this poster. Whoa. Let's see if I can show it to you. Anyway, oh, it's huge. Some of you have this. And it's of Alice, and the Cheshire Cat is up here. Alice is down here. There's the Queen of Hearts over here. Anyway, this thing is ginormous. So my plan is to take this page to the retreat, this poster, and let everybody color on it. And maybe write their name, and it'll be a fun little project for everybody to work on at the retreat. Just if they're having a cocktail or something in the evening and they don't feel like diamond painting, maybe they want to color with me. Oh, wait a minute, here I found another one. Did I find another? I did start another one. Here's one. Here's one that I also started. I'm having a heck of a time. See, I just colored some cakes and treats there. Yeah, I'm not that good at it, really. I'm not. Okay, let's get this thing. Okay, so that's Alice in Wonderland, an enchanting coloring book with removable poster, illustrations by Fabiano and Tanasio. Really nice book. The other one I have is called, this is a grayscale, Alice in Wonderland, and this is by Charles Santori. Really nice. These are beautiful, aren't they? Just nice collectibles. I don't know that I have done anything in here. Maybe this is the one I need to do. In fact, I have my little pencil thing here where I've swatched my pencils. Oh, I have done one, and I'm very proud of this one. I really like this one. It turned out really good. Where she turns really small, Alice. And I think I did a good job on the dog. Yeah. It helps that it's grayscale. It does. Grayscale's a little easier, I think. So I'll pick one of these out. I think I'm going to do a grayscale on Wednesday, and we're going to color together. I'll get one of my friends that knows what they're doing and that has the book, or even if they don't have the book, they can still come on. What is all over me today? Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay. Hashtag National Coloring Book Day 2021. And then put in whatever page you've colored. Yeah. Okay. That'll be fun. Moving on. let's go to the trial. Yes, today I am home, working from home, Monday and Tuesday. Still trying to get my sister settled. I'm going to, she wants to go to Dollar General and pick up a few cosmetic items. I still need to make room for her. I have, with my back, I'm trying not to do too much. But I've got to start clearing all the yarn out of that room. And I want to put together another giveaway for the August giveaway. Okie dokie. Alright, so we have the start of day 4 on the trial. This is the trial of the woman that she was a college student in South Carolina. She calls for an Uber, which is a ride share. She calls for an Uber. A car pulls up. She believes that's her Uber. She just goes and she gets in. She's never seen again. Her body is found the next day in a wooded area, very secluded wooded area, by these turkey hunters. Yes, turkey hunters. It was turkey hunting season in South Carolina. This was like March, end of March. So, note to self, end of March, turkey hunting season, South Carolina. In case you want to put it on your bucket list. Okay. So, on day 4 of the trial of Nathaniel Rowland, they have the investigator, the guy from SLED, which is the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. He does the crime scene processing. So this is his, he was on the day before. He was there to finish up his testimony, and pretty much he had already said everything there was, but he had to have, the cross-examination, which, I felt like the attorney was building up to something, some revelation, the way she was asking the questions, and it just never came. I mean, there's just no defense to this. I mean, one thing I thought was a really prolific statement was this investigator said there was a significant bloodletting. Now, that's where you take all the blood out of a body. There was a significant bloodletting that occurred in the back of this vehicle. There was blood found on the back of the, driver's seat, passenger seat, the doors, the passenger doors, the, the air vent that's on the back of the center console, on the floors, on the windows, on the roof of this vehicle, there was blood. It was just pretty much everywhere, and there was a heavy odor of bleach, chlorine, and when they actually got to the point where they were lifting up the floor mats, it was just dripping with chlorine. So his actual statement was there was a significant bloodletting happened in the back of this vehicle. Yeah. So he also found a black jacket in the back seat that had marks on it on the right shoulder and the right sleeve, and the marks looked like they could have been done with a knife or fingernails. Now, it was a men's jacket, but he was just surmising, and he didn't seem very sure of the, because the guy said, could this be from fingernails? And he said, well, yeah, I guess, he didn't seem real sure. So, there was black Nike flip-flops, also male flip-flops. They weren't hers. Both of these things had blood on them, the jacket and the flip-flops. And in another person's testimony that I'm going to talk about, you'll see him wearing the flip-flops, the defendant, and the jacket. So, and in the trunk they found the black McDonald's hat that belonged to his girlfriend. She had been looking for it so she could go to work. That was found in the trunk. That was covered in blood. Also found was a white shirt, just a white T-shirt. This was on the floorboard of the front passenger seat that had blood on it, and a white jacket from the rear of the driver's seat also had blood on it. So I don't know if these items may have just some of these things had been in the vehicle already and just got covered in blood during I don't know. Yeah. So a lot. So this person, he holds up quite well on cross-examination. The defense doesn't make any headway with him. Because the evidence is what it is. Then they bring on this gentleman who was the owner of it's one of these stores that you can go into and you can sell your used cell phones, or you can get a cell phone repaired, or you can get a computer repaired. He says it's kind of like a fix and break thing, or break and fix. I don't know what he called it, but you can take your electronics in there and he'll fix them for you. He knows like a lot about electronics. But he has 15 surveillance cameras set up in this little tiny store because he said he's been robbed before and burglarized. And so he gets there every morning about he opens around 9 o'clock, sometimes 10 o'clock, but on this particular day he opened at 9 o'clock. And so now we get to see surveillance footage of this defendant. He's wearing the black jacket, like I said, he's wearing the flip flops, and the black jacket it's actually a hoodie, or maybe the jacket was over the hoodie. I don't know. He's got this hoodie up. He's got a do-rag on. Just strange. I don't know what the weather was then, but I don't know if it was cold or hot, but he was dressed weird. Anyway, he's got it all up, and he's got his hands in his pockets. He's wearing dark pants. And, so he comes in, and he wants to sell a cell phone. So this guy, he checks the serial number, he plugs it in, and it takes a little while for his computer software to read this phone. What was one of the things significant was that it had no passcode on it. Now, why this woman did not have a passcode on her phone, I do not know. So he says he has to check everything that comes in for sale for a serial number. And then once he gets the serial number, he checks to see if it's been reported lost or stolen. If it has not, then he feels like he can feel free to make an offer. So, and it takes a little while for all this process to go through. So you see the defendant kind of walking around, looking over his shoulder, kept checking the door. And so the guy, he gets the serial number. It has not been reported lost or stolen by the cell phone company. So they go back and forth on a price. The defendant wanted $300, and he said, "No, I'll give you $150," and the defendant wasn't happy about that. So they did some haggling, and the defendant ended up walking out with the phone. He was not able to sell it. And this was like the day after, probably, the murder had occurred during the night, so this was the morning of the murder. And this is just before 11 o'clock, and he's trying to get rid of the cell phone already. Hadn't even changed his clothes from the murder. Yeah. So then the next person that they put on the stand is the other, because the other person from SLED, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, because when they go to process the scene, there's two of them. So this is the female member of the team. She had a little bit more involvement in that she helped process the crime scene, she helped process the vehicle, but she also had reported to the jail to take pictures of Nathaniel Rowland, to take pictures of the clothing that he had on. But by then he had clean clothing on. He the gray sweatpants and stuff on. And then they got a search warrant for the girlfriend's house, so she was part of that crime scene processing. And this was where I began to fall asleep, and the bag rustling was going on, because in the trash can in the backyard there was so much stuff. First of all, several sheets that were just covered in blood. Those were in the trash, and they were actually put into a garbage, like one of those plastic garbage bags, and then put into the trash. And then there was the clothing that he had on, the black clothing that he had on, except for the jacket that was found in the vehicle, and the flip-flops. The rest he had thrown in the trash. There was like just a ton of stuff that they found in the trash. They found, which I believe to be the murder weapon, was one of these, like I would call it a Swiss Army knife. They called it a fold out, I think what they called it. And they asked this woman if it opened up, and she tried to open it, and she goes, I can't open it. He goes, no, don't worry about it, because it's one of those things with all these little apparatuses in it, including knives, and that sometimes will pop out, and you don't want to get cut. So that was found in the trash with blood on it. So what we haven't heard, so all of this evidence was collected and swabbed and sent to the crime lab for processing. So I suspect what we'll hear later is whose blood was this? Probably the victim. I'm assuming. I don't know if any of it was his. We didn't see any wounds on him in the photographs. But he was covered up pretty good. So if she was scratching him with her fingernails, they did scrape his fingernails to see if he had scratched her. And so I'm curious to see if, they did take clippings from her nails as well. I want to see if she got any of his DNA. But he was so well clothed. They found gloves in the trash. So he had gloves on, this do-rags, a hoodie, long sleeves, long, pants. Other than the flip-flops, that's really the only, in his face, and that's the only part of his body that was exposed. So he didn't have any injuries on him. Yeah. And it's just, you can see the family, they're sitting in the pews, and it's just so difficult for them to watch this and hear all this, and I feel bad for them. So that is day 4. I'm going to try to go back and listen to the part I slept through, just to see if there was any additional, evidence that maybe I missed, during one of my snoozes. Sorry. I'm so tired. Like 10 o'clock, I'm falling asleep. What's that about, I guess I've just been doing so much to get my sister settled, and I don't know. Yesterday was so busy. We had the live, and then we had the Zoom, and the Zoom was really good. Great discussions. Robin showed us her craft room. If you've never participated in the Zoom, I have them on Sundays, and they're open to everybody. Feel free to stop by, make some friends. Yeah, we learned a little bit about framing diamond paintings, which was super interesting. Yeah, some of us were, and not all of us, we're all sitting there crafting, but not everybody is diamond painting. Some people, I was actually, because I had finished my section of the painting that I wanted to do, so I was actually doing some cross stitch. Several people were doing cross stitch. Some people were, was anybody crocheting? No, I don't think so. Oh, maybe. I think Narrate came in, she might have been crocheting. Yeah. We talked about the step challenge. Yeah, it was a lot of nice discussion yesterday. So, what day in history is it? lot went on this day in history that I felt like talking about it. Okay. I love this new iPad. I just love it. Um, let's see. Okay, a sudden thunderstorm in 1985, August 2nd, 1985. Oh my God, it's August. You know what, guys? I've been doing this morning show for a year. Yes, 1 year. Yep. I don't know if this is like the exact date, but I started in August of last year. Late July, early August. I'd have to go back and look to see when the first one was. Now, what you see on the thumbnail is the episode number since I started doing the crafting and crime. So I'm up to today, I think might be 141 or 142 crime episodes where I covered like trials. By the way, if you're new to the channel, those are all playlisted. Each trial is playlisted. If you want to listen to another trial that I've covered, you can just go into the playlist and pick one out. Yeah, they're a lot of fun to go back and listen to. Yeah, so this trial, the trial of Nathaniel Hawthorne, will be playlisted under the Uber trial. That's I've nicknamed it the Uber trial. And then I thought, nah, I probably shouldn't be using the name Uber because it's copyrighted. So I changed it to the rideshare trial because yeah, I don't want to get in trouble with Uber. Yeah, just a thought. So, in 1985, sudden thunderstorms. Where else? Texas. Yes, Dallas, Fort Worth. Like just all of a sudden, this supercell forms, and this plane could not adjust to this weather fast enough. Although they claim that the pilots saw that the weather was forming, they flew into it. They couldn't adjust, and they crashed short of the runway, killing 135 people. Now, 15 people did survive their injuries. They said it was rapid and unexpected. Extremely violent form of thunderstorm is called a supercell. How horrible. It was Dallas Flight 191, or Delta Flight 191 had left Fort Lauderdale in the afternoon and headed for Dallas, Texas. The passengers aboard, it was a Lockheed L-111, enjoyed a completely normal flight right up till the very end. Oh, how awful. Yeah. I'm gonna stay away from Texas. Some weird stuff happens in Texas, I gotta tell you. Oh, the plane hit a car, killing the driver, and then skidded into 2 water tanks. Yeah. Wow. The subsequent investigation revealed that the weather had changed drastically in the 8 minutes prior to the crash. Fast-growing supercell formation had caused unpredictable winds. The pilots also should have been more prudent. See, I don't like when they blame the pilots, given what they could see of the developing storm as they approached the airport. No, don't blame the pilots. I don't know if they survived or not, but I don't care. Don't blame the pilots. You know, that's terrible. Anyway, I'm sure lawsuits followed, as they usually do. Oh my goodness. I'm almost done with the hearts section. Yay! Do 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 do. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to be quiet. My sister's awake, but I think maybe snoozing. I don't know. I don't want to wake her up too much. She doesn't feel well. So. Okay, guys, that is the show for today. Have a great Monday. I will see you all around the community somewhere. Lots of lives tonight. Crystal's Crafting Creations is at 9 Central. Check her channel out. She's really sweetheart. Oh my gosh. And fun. So check her out. Crafting with Christy comes on right after her. She is a colorist. Check her out. She's one of those ones that has lots of coloring books. So check out her channel tonight. And I will see you tomorrow in Crafting crafting and crime.